So the latest Hearthstone patch just recently came out and absolutely destroyed a ton of archetypes like Control Warrior and Beam Druid, which was my favorite. But anyways, I want to go over what some of the top decks are so far. The patch just recently hit, so you know, meta's still a little bit unstable. Things might change, new decks might emerge, so craft with caution. Now really quickly, looking at Vicious Syndicate's tier list, we can see the top 5 decks are kind of just other hunter, other shaman, other demon hunter, other paladin, and other mage. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into what those decks are. Now the first deck I want to jump into is kind of a new archetype, maybe? I don't know. It wasn't too prominent before the nerfs or the patches or the mini set or anything like that. And this is Control Shaman that was piloted by Pocket Train to, I think, top 2. We can see here that it's got a lot of control. That's why it's called Control Shaman. There's a lot of ways to just deal with your opponent's board. There's a lot of freezing through like Wind Chill, through Sleep Breaker. Frostbite can, you know, slow down aggressive opponents that are trying to do a lot of spells. You got Cookie, which has some fantastic lifesteal. When he dies, he gives you that weapon with even more lifesteal. This card is just absolutely insane. Chain Lightning, a ton of removal. Schooling, also adding those piranhas to your hand for even more removal. And then you're constantly just putting minions on the board. It's very minion based. We got Wildpaw Cavern as well, just constantly summoning a threat that your opponent has to deal with, or you know, maybe it ends up freezing something on their board, stuff like that. We have Gorlock here for some fantastic draws. So it's almost like a Murloc Control Shaman. I think there's also a really popular a Murloc build going around with Bloodlust. Right now, this one seems to have better stats on it. Maybe the other one will end up being better than this one. But for now, this one's doing absolutely fantastic. We also have the Snowfall Guardian for even more freeze. And then we could play Macaw to also refreeze the board and then eventually just hit him in the face with a massive Snowfall Guardian. Mutinous for a bit of hand disruption, and also Brucon for just a ton of value. Let's go ahead and jump into the next deck, which is going to be this Demon Hunter list. Now, Demon Hunter did get some nerfs, but it doesn't seem like it slowed it down too much because they also hit Control Warrior really hard. That seems to be the class that got shafted the most. So here we can see the Fell Demon Hunter list that has done quite well by Denim Blue, I believe, hitting top 25. A lot of people having fantastic success with this one. Fossil Fanatic is just such a good card, constantly letting you draw, you know, being able to use this with the multi-strike being at 2 mana is still a very good card. I think even if this was 3 mana, it would still be playable. We have Lady's Theno here, which just does a ton of damage because you have so many cheap spells on top of everything. And then we also have Jace here to replay all the Fell spells. Now, Caria Fell Soul did get a nerf, but doesn't really matter. Sometimes you play it before Xylag, sometimes you don't. The 1 mana nerf really didn't hurt it too much. But Xylag just does an insane amount of damage here. I think Kurtrus is one of the best cards in this deck, just being able to let you punch through these taunts, also making it so all the tokens on your board just end up giving you that extra attack damage, that extra reach. Your opponent can't just leave all these 1/1s that maybe you generate through the Vanguard, because those end up translating into more attack damage that you're going to hit them with. And Battle Worn Vanguard is still a very good card. Did get nerfed by 1 health. Still good. Nerf didn't really seem to do too much to it. Then we got Herald of Chaos here for a little bit of lifesteal. And this is pretty much always going to have Rush. So very good against other aggro decks, maybe in the mirror. Probably not too good against control decks, but it does have that Rush, which might allow you to punch through a taunt. Really good deck if you like Demon Hunter. It's doing fantastic. So the next deck I want to talk about is this Big Spell Mage. This is kind of a new one. I don't think I saw anyone playing with a Big Spell Mage before. A lot of people experimenting with the Barbaric Sorceress. I've been seeing this here. I've been seeing it in Big Paladin, and it's just a really fun card because it swaps the cost of a random spell in each player's hands. I know I had a coin in my hand still. They played the Barbaric Sorceress, and it made their Drakefire Amulet cost 0, and it made my coin cost 10, which kind of hurt. I guess if you're playing against a mage, you don't keep coin. Maybe try and dump all your cheap spells if you can before the Sorceress may come out. But this deck just has a surprising amount of control. It's like a big spell kind of control mage, at least against aggro. You're just able to get a ton of armor by using Deepwater Evoker. Maybe that ends up hitting your Drakefire Amulet. And then we can also Grey Sage Parrot to recast the Drakefire Amulet for a little bit more value. We have AoE through the Reckless Apprentice, through the spammy Arcanist. A lot of ways to slow down your opponent through the Farwatch Watch Post. Farwatch Post, not Farwatch Watch Post. And then we also got the Amplified Snow Flurry here, which just makes your hero power cost 0 and freeze the target. This is really good if your opponent might hit you in the face, or if you just want to control something on the board. And then I absolutely love Varden being able to freeze the entire board. Just is so good. And then really exciting, we have Belinda in here, which does draw 2 spells and swaps their costs this minion's stats. And maybe you've noticed we only have very big expensive spells, so this is always going to get crazy value. Same with Barbaric Sorceress, as well as the Deep Water Evoker, because we just have Rune of the Archmage and Drakefire Amulet. Both of these are actually pretty fun to play because this is always going to be random. But generally good. Same thing with the Drakefire Amulet. So every game will kind of feel a little bit different, but still fun, right? So I can't seem to find tweets of people performing well for these next decks. Maybe they don't do well at super high legend like top 100, but they are doing fantastic in pretty much any meta. So this one I found on HS Replay. It's also doing well on VS Syndicate, their live app, whatever you want to call it. Big Hunter, Big Beast Hunter. This deck was already quite prominent, and it's gotten even better because everything else got nerfed, but this didn't really get nerfed. Harpoon Gun, just super crazy because you're gonna dredge a big minion generally. It's gonna discount it by 3. That's just such insane value, insane tempo. I'm not sure. I haven't seen too much of Wing Commander Eichmann. Stats on this seem to be really good, but who knows what's actually going to be the best big beast hunter. But maybe got Eichmann. This does have the secret sort of package here. I've seen some people running a different package. We got secrets and Vandar here, but there is another one that runs cheaper minions, running like the Battle Ram. This card, in the other lists because it could discount your 7 manas into 5 mana. And then maybe also running stuff like the breeder, selective breeder, so you can get even more value. But you don't seem to need insane value to win games because you're not playing against things like Control Warrior because they killed that class. Before jumping into the next deck, here's a little bonus one. This deck is doing quite well, actually. It's like a Beast Naga Hunter if you like a little bit more of a face deck. You could drop this K9 and put a Battle Ram. This is a very good deck if you are looking for something more aggressive. Not sure what the best Hunter deck is yet. Again, it's early on, but the Hunter's definitely in a good spot. Also couldn't find a tweet with someone doing well with Holy Paladin or Mech Paladin, but per all the data aggregating websites, these seem to be some of the best decks. Holy Paladin doing super good, was always a good deck, and really got strengthened by the mini set because of stuff like Light Ray and Myrmidon. Mech Pally also doing really well. Not sure which one's doing better, but I did see Holy Paladin outperforming Mech Paladin when I did look at the statistics. If you like Mech Paladin, now is a great time to play it, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about Holy Paladin. I've been messing around with this deck for quite a while. I think I released a video before this really popped off, before we had the mini set, and well, we got Myrmidon and Light Ray to make this even a little bit better. I personally feel like Myrmidon is still a cuttable card. I know I said this in the past and people really disagreed with it, but often my hand is just too big and full. So maybe 1 Myrmidon is the sweet spot. I haven't tried this with 1 Myrm. With 2, 1 was just often dead. I often want to use Maki Roll on my face, not on the Myrmidon, but sometimes you could throw out this Myrmidon, heal it with a few Maki Rolls, and get some nice card draw. Other than that, ton of ways to heal, ton of ways to clear the board. If you like control decks, this one's kind of slow, maybe a little bit boring, but you might have a good time with this one. You could do Equality City Tax, you could do Pyromancer and Equality, you do Equality Carriel. Also, the nerf to Carriel really didn't do too much. 1 mana is not a huge deal. I wish they would have changed the weapon, but whatever. Light Ray also generally going to be cheap. You have so many different spells, plus Maki Roll can almost make it free on its own. And then the big sort of combo we could do here, they did, they nerfed Smite. He's now 7 mana, but you can buff him up nice and big with the Carriel, play the Smite, play Garden's Grace on him. If you wanted to lean even more into that, you can get a Queen Ashara that can get you the one spell or relic that lets you get another Garden's Grace. You really don't have to do that. It's not in the top list, which is this But if you want an extra Garden's Grace, or maybe it ends up just being an extra quality or extra flash, this could give you a little bit of leeway, maybe dropping a Merm for it. Or maybe you like the Merm, you like the draw. Yeah, those seem to be the best decks right now that I have been able to find. Again, the patch just recently hit. We don't have enough stats on it. I'm planning on making another one of these videos here within maybe a week or two, once we have a better read on the meta. But yeah, what decks are you guys enjoying? Is it one that I didn't talk about? Are you having fun with anything cool or success with anything that's off meta? Let me know in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Good luck on ladder and stay hydrated.